Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, the mayor of Sparks is here, Ed Lawson, here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, it's a pleasure to welcome back to the program Ed Lawson. He is the mayor of Sparks. Pleasure to have you back on the program, sir.
Thank you, Sam.
When we talked a while back, you were debating whether you were going to run for re-election or not. You decided to run for re-election. Why?
Yeah, well, I think two reasons. One, we have some big projects that need to get done. And contrary to a lot of belief, our tax system in Nevada is the worst in the country. So we're trying to run a city on a 1.5% increase in property tax each year. That just doesn't pencil out. Our expenses over the last 5 years have gone up 55%. Revenues have gone up 35%. We have a broken system. And I think that I have those relationships with the governor, with the elected officials at the state level to help sway that vote into doing something that will put Nevada on the right track for the future.
Okay, and of course Sparks is not alone in this.
No.
The C-tax is way down and is not going to catch up. Everybody's talking about layoffs.
We just saw White Pine County turn themselves into the state and because they're not financially solvent.
Really? I
Yes.
did not see that.
Yeah, that happened last week.
Wow.
So we're going to see more and more of that as we go further in this broken system that we work under.
So at this point then, because you're breaking news for me at least, White Pine County is now being run by the state financially?
Yep, overseen by the state, yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Story County was in that position a few years ago, not so much today.
Well, not so much today, but the tech industry obviously it did a lot for Northern Nevada. We just need to get our act together and do the right thing. And fully 50% of the people that move here are coming from California.
Okay, so years ago, so let's talk about this politically. Years ago, Howard Jarvis got the proposition passed in California to limit the property taxes. Nevada followed and did the same thing. Would it not be political suicide for anybody to try and change the property taxes? What would be an alternative that wouldn't get rid of every person in political office?
So, you know what? I'm willing to take that risk because when you dial 911 and we put you on hold because we don't have enough dispatchers or we don't have enough policemen, or we end up like Flint, Michigan, where they don't investigate homicides for hours. If your house gets burglarized, you may see a cop in the next 5 days. We are literally on that path. Now, theirs is because of a water problem. Ours is because of a tax system problem.
All right, but you're running for re-election. I'm going to raise your taxes has never been a great campaign slogan.
It isn't, but at the same time, you want the services, you want the roads to drive on, you want to dial 911 and have someone answer. You want a park to go play with your kids at. You want clean, safe park equipment. You want programs, a swimming pool and baseball fields and all the things that come along with running a city.
All right, let's talk about the big projects you mentioned. Name off some of the big projects you'd like to see either started or brought to fruition.
Yeah, we're still working on the lands bill. I've been working on that for probably 10 years. I feel better about it now than I have in a long time.
Because?
Senator Rosen's bill got introduced in the Senate at committee level, and Amadei's bill looks like it's going to go straight to the floor, and we're expecting that in the next, I don't know when, on Congress time, but that'll go straight to the floor for a vote.
Okay,
so that's a big step for us.
Okay, so do you think that that's more likely than not to happen in the lame duck session?
I think it is likely to happen this Congress.
That would be amazing.
It would be. It's a game changer.
Okay, so
I don't have to play the game with the state. Now I can actually change the tax mix in Sparks to be more industrial, where we get a higher tax instead of being the bedroom community to Reno, where we get the lower tax.
Okay. Do you still consider Sparks a bedroom community to Reno?
I don't, but that's how it was developed in the 90s and 2000s.
Right.
And we're still under those handbooks from the 90s and 2000s. People say, well, just change it. I can't just change it. It's in a handbook that was done 25 years ago.
So how do you go about changing a handbook?
You have to have depending on which handbook it is, you either have to have 100% or a majority the people that own land in that handbook to agree to change it.
Okay, if for whatever reason, and we know how Congress is, that this lands bill doesn't pass, Sparks is essentially out of land, right?
Yep, we are.
Where do you go?
We try and go up, but that's more expensive, and that just contributes to the housing costs going up.
So, I mean, there are benefits in terms of water, landscaping, things like that.
There's the concentration of services. Your fire department, you don't have to build more fire departments or police departments. All that does help when you do a concentrated area. In my office, I have 3 areas. I'm calling them city centers. So we have a river city center where we're the lands bill will be instrumental in putting houses on the river and moving our industrial to the east. Audi city center, which we're seeing a lot of growth in right now. And then
that was a major RTC project, right?
It was, but we are also seeing the generator there. We're starting to see more housing come to that area. It's really becoming more vibrant. I think we're going to see a hotel spring up there along Audi Boulevard also.
A business hotel, residential hotel?
Yeah, kind of a what do they call the business hotel where you stay for 3 or 4 days?
Long-term stay.
Yeah, an extended stay. That's it.
Yeah. You've seen the growth in the casino industry with the Legends property. And Lazy 8 is looking like that's coming back to life.
They have an application in at the city of Sparks.
And are you optimistic that's going to go through?
I am optimistic that will go through. They could build that casino today. They don't really need our approval. They fought that battle in the late 90s.
Right, and they've got the license and everything.
They got it all. So
that was the old Reno casino license, right?
I believe you're right. The one that was next to Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Yeah, Fitzgerald. More people remember where that was.
Yeah, they'd have to go to Whitney Peak and ask somebody for directions. You were trying to get a road built from TRI with its huge economic influence, but lots of traffic issues into Sparks. It failed in the legislature. What do you think the problem was?
We tried a toll road is what we tried to give us the ability. The simple math is there's no money at NDOT. I mean, they have $1.3 billion budget. $300 million of it goes to police and DMV, and then he split $1 billion the rest of the state. And because Clark County is 70% of that, they get 70%. So it leaves us $300 million for the rest of the state to build roads. Math doesn't work out. So the tech industry was willing to pay for Fast Pass for their employees to commute out there. There's roughly 40,000 employees in Story County right now. 85% of them live in Reno Sparks, and 80% of them live north of I-80. So it was a way to pay for the road by the people that created the demand for the road.
Okay, so why did it fail?
It's a tax. I heard I went to Las Vegas, visited with several legislators, and I heard, that's a good idea, Ed, but, and insert reason for not doing it there.
And is the idea totally dead at this point?
Well, I'm not going to do it. I beat my head against the wall enough. So if someone else thinks they can do it, more power to them. But the state was built on toll roads. The Comstock load that made us a state was, there was 117 different toll roads in the history of Nevada that all got turned back over to the state at the end.
I mean, it seemed like a really good idea. You know, it's one where you've got the money.
It's a good idea, but.
Yeah, well, you know, the legislature sometimes is a great place where good ideas go to die.
Well, something good came out of it. I was asked to be on the light rail study for the state.
That was my next
Yep.
question.
So, I mean, that's good. I developed some relationships with some legislators down in Vegas, and I think that is going to pay off for the North.
Okay, where do you think a line is the most possible? On the current UP lines?
I don't think there's one snowball's chance in UP letting us have anything along that line.
Really? Because of the amount of freight traffic?
That's freight traffic and Amtrak. If we had a wreck or a breakdown or anything, they just won't tolerate it. So I'll give you an example. We tried to save the mechanics building in downtown Sparks. Out riding my Harley one day, I ran into a guy from the Bureau of Reclamation who's does the Lahontan district, which includes us up here. He had 185 acres along the railroad track. And he said, if you want this, we'll see if we can transfer it. We got to get, Congress involved, but not a big deal. So I said, well, let me see if I can trade 185 acres for 2.5 acres and keeping that historic building. I didn't even get the words out of my mouth before UP said no.
And yet we were able to get the railroad tracks lowered in downtown Reno.
I think for them that was, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the exact reason on that one, but it probably had more to do with public safety.
Really? and some powerful lobbying.
That too. Well, we had a different people in the state too. Raggio was, probably the leader of the state and getting things done. And having that power at the Senate and then having Harry Reid there obviously was a big bonus too.
And term limits weren't in effect at that point.
No.
All right, let's take a break at that moment there as we can both cry, and we'll be right back after this timeout. As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development. Building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org. At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
The winning is about to hit a whole nother level during the $100,000 March Mayhem giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week and a top prize of $15,000 in cash during the grand finale drawing. Don't miss the mayhem. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Ed Lawson. He's the mayor of Sparks, running for re-election. One of your fellow council people is running against you. Mm-hmm. Were you surprised?
I was a little bit, but you know, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want, and wish her luck.
What are the issues between the two of you?
I haven't seen any yet, because she's pretty much repeating what I've been saying for the last 12 years.
So are you guys willing to debate on Nevada Newsmakers? She's coming on the show in a couple of weeks.
Okay, well, good. Yeah, I'd be happy to.
All right.
Yeah.
As we said earlier, not only Sparks, but across the state, governments are looking at shortfalls. Reno just took care of, I think, a $25 million budget gap. Mm-hmm. How big is the budget gap coming up for Sparks?
We took our hit last year, so we did what Reno did this year. Is we did that the year before. So we're talking about a $500,000, $1 million at the most.
Okay, so
it's not a big deal. But we took the hit, and we laid off probably some departments 30%, 35% of the staff.
So what areas is the city now the weakest in? And
well,
you know, and I'm
asking on police and fire.
Because I'm asking that because, you know, other jurisdictions in Nevada watch this show, mm-hmm. and they need to know what the examples are of what happens when you cut these kind of monies percentage-wise out of your budget.
Well, there's a big distinction between Clark County and the rest of the state. Clark County, in 1972, passed a tax to fund the Metro Police Department. If I took police out of my budget, I would have $48 million more to spend on other things. So another tax increase no one wants to do, but they actually have 4 different sources in Southern Nevada to fund the police. So you take the police out of your budget gets a lot friendlier to the rest of the city.
And the chances of that happening in Northern Nevada, I mean, we can't even
about the same as UP.
Yeah, you know, we've tried consolidate. You know, is this a time to bring consolidation back to the table?
Yes, it's worth talking about to see if there's. I mean, you're going to get some efficiencies there, but I don't see how you do it though without a separate funding source. Because what, in essence, that I would do as the city of Sparks is I open up my checkbook to Reno and Washoe County to spend my money, my citizens' money, and that doesn't work.
Never going to happen?
I don't see it happening without a funding source.
Let me ask you, because we're talking about police and fire, do you have any clue of what is going on at the Reno Police Department that has now been taken over by the Sheriff's Department? Senior members, including the police chief, are on paid leave, and nobody seems to know if a crime has been committed, what the crime might be. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I had a conversation with Mayor Sheevy and offered any assistance that Sparks can give to her, and I'd prefer not to talk about that.
Okay, is it a personnel issue?
I mean, it's not my city, not my place to say what it is or isn't.
But you are aware.
I'm aware.
You know, nobody watches this show.
I know that.
So I mean,
I know.
You know, we could talk as much as you want, and it will never get out of the building.
Me and my grandmother, yeah, we're the only ones who watch.
God bless her.
Yes.
Let's take another break. We'll be back with the mayor of Sparks, Ed Lawson, after this timeout.
Thank you, Governor Lombardo, for making healthcare a priority,
for bringing the first standalone children's hospital to Nevada,
and addressing the physician shortage with legislation that's working.
Governor Lombardo is building new mental health clinics.
And his commitment to children's mental health will change lives.
And Lombardo's Nevada Health Authority will ensure Nevadans have more access to affordable and reliable health care. Everyone likes to talk about improving health care. Joe Lombardo is actually getting things done.
The Road to Riches leads straight to the Carson Valley Inn. Cash drawings Thursday and Saturdays. Over 480 winners. Score up to $15,000 weekly. Plus one $10,000 cash winner and the $20,000 guaranteed grand prize giveaways. Free meals, free play, and more. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
Sponsors are needed for the Greenhouse Project's annual Grateful Harvest Dinner, taking place Monday, September 21st at Nashville Social Club in Carson City. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year. For 17 years, the Greenhouse Project has provided agricultural education for students and fresh produce to our community's food insecure. Every dollar you give helps us continue this important, life-changing mission. Go to carsoncitygreenhouse.org to learn how you can help. Join us in growing a lasting legacy.
We're the Peters family, 2 combat veterans, our daughter Elle, and our Liberty Dogs puppy in training, Cooper.
Cooper will grow up to be a life-changing companion to a veteran with visible or invisible challenges.
We're helping Cooper build focus and confidence so he's ready to support his veteran.
And we know he will help bring happiness and independence to his veteran's life.
So join us, become a puppy raiser, and change lives, one puppy at a time.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Ed Lawson. He's the mayor of Sparks. So I want to change the tone of this interview because we've talked about a lot of the negative things that are affecting everybody across the state of Nevada. But I can't imagine that you will be running for the next 4 years to continue serving if you didn't see a lot of positive things happening as well. So tell me about what you're looking at in a positive vein for the city of Sparks.
I see the tech industry growth is as a very much a positive for our area. We saw that during the Great Recession, just that diversity of our economy. We're seeing it now with Las Vegas and tourism rates and the tariffs and all the things that, they're having struggles with and the price. I mean, me and my wife were down there and for 2 margaritas and a beer was $75. I mean, that.
Oh, you got away cheap.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, that's incredible. So I think, Vegas has a different issue than we do up here. I think our diversified economy is very positive. And I think that brain power that we're seeing come to work in the tech industry will lead to bigger and better things in the future.
As you look at the housing market, what's your optimism there about getting more, affordable housing? Is that something that can be done on a citywide level, through removing regulation, things that are tying down to an extent the construction industry, or is it bigger than that?
It's just different, not necessarily bigger. The cities really aren't in the position to do any affordable housing. We can make it easier to do it by loosening regulations, which I have been doing since I've been in office, loosening those regulations to make it easier. For example, we don't do collect the fees for the house opening until the very end before they sell it. That keeps the contractor from having to carry $50,000, $80,000 worth of fees on their books and paying interest on it, which drives the house prices up. So we passed that back in 2014. So there's things like that can help. But I'm also, I was on the RTC, and there's 40-something acres up off of Clear Acre, and we brokered a deal with Northern Nevada Labor Council to have them buy the land. And right now, I believe they're going to put in around 1,200 affordable housing units, and some market rate, but mostly subsidized.
Okay.
So we can help in that aspect, but we don't have any money to really do anything to save and say we can invest in something.
Sales taxes. You were saying earlier that the majority of people that work at TRI obviously live in the Reno-Sparks area, Fernley area, et cetera. Are you seeing a benefit from sales taxes from those folks living in the area?
Yeah, we see that. I mean, obviously they come home, they live with us. They come home and spend their money here. We see a benefit to that. Sales tax is relatively flat with a just slight upward trend. Property tax, it's just not keeping up at all.
It seems, and tell me if I'm wrong, that there is a better relationship these days between Story County and Washoe Reno Sparks. Am I correct about that?
I've always had a good relationship with them. I understand where they're coming from. It wasn't that long ago. I mean, they just started replacing sewer that were old timber, that they had wooden sewer pipes, and they're replacing that. They have a lot of infrastructure, and they've had 100 years of really no progress. The leading industry was the brothels. So they've got a lot to spend to catch up, to bring themselves into modern times. So I've always had a sympathy or a soft spot in my heart for them, and I support them wholeheartedly. And I think I have great relationships with all of those commissioners too. I think that's what I bring to the table more than anything, that I have the relationships. If we have a problem, I can get on my phone and call these people and say, hey, I need some help here. Can you help me?
I-80. There have been rumors of widening of I-80. And I'm talking about in this, the Sparks Nugget area. Are talks proceeding on that? Is there potentially forward movement there? Because that would be a heck of a construction project if that were to happen.
There's been an alignment put forth that we're not really excited about, because it comes into the Victorian Square area. But we're still in conversation with them on that.
So potentially that could happen in the future.
We'll see. Once again, the beast is in Clark County. That's where the majority of the money goes. So when we have projects like that up here, we're taking away money from Clark County.
And that's where we have to leave it. Mayor, you are welcome to come on and debate on the program with your opponent. Like I say, she'll be on here in the next couple of weeks, and then after that we can do a debate.
Let me know.
All right, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this, as always. We appreciate it. And we'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. We'll see you on the next broadcast.